is Angela Tammy Kepler? Can you tell us briefly about your background?
Angela Tammy Kepler is a born and raised Texan who loves sports and the outdoors. I grew up playing basketball on basketball team and volleyball teams and running the mile. Enjoyed writing poetry, drawing. I even won an art competition when I was in high school. My parents divorced when I was 5. My father remarried to my stepmother when I was 10. Environment I grew up in, school, in church, and things like this, you have a responsibility. You need to give back. You need to make a difference. So that's what I strove for. I had the opportunity to see 2 different types of Christianity. One my father had chosen when he was a teenager. And when I was a teenager, I went to live with my mom and I saw another type of Christianity in the Baptist church, Protestant mentality with the Trinity and celebration of Christmas and things like this. That gave me a different perspective. I got benefit from both churches, but I was still a person in search of something more.
How was your life in regards to faith? Did you have any faith before?
I had faith. Fortunately, I was raised in, like I said, my father's chosen church, and that one was very disciplined. I had always been in a religious environment. When my mother found this church too rigid, she decided not to go anymore. But because I'd been raised in my father's church, there was a very distinct difference. In my father's church, for example, they focused a lot on the first commandment of Prophet Moses, peace be upon him. In my dad's church, they had done a lot of research, and in that research they found that most of the holidays that are celebrated in America have some sort of paganistic background. Or even there's verses in the Bible that speak against the different aspects of those holidays. For example, in my dad's church, we didn't celebrate Christmas because, first of all, the verses of the Bible indicate that Jesus wasn't born that time of year, so that's not his birthday, December 25th. And second, there's verses in the Bible in Jeremiah indicate that the decoration of the tree was actually a paganistic behavior. They used to celebrate with decorating it with silver and gold and worshiping the spirit in the tree. We're supposed to believe only in God and not worship anything else. And they made that very clear. We didn't even celebrate birthdays. There would be a cake with candles and you light the candles and you make a wish, but your wishes are supposed to be turned to God, the one who can provide. In my dad's church, we realized that this is like fire worship. So yeah, I had faith, but it wasn't enough. I didn't know the name of my Lord, that is Allah. I didn't know exactly how he wanted me to worship him, but I didn't know it at the time. There were indications of it in my dreams because I was having nightmares. I was not at peace with where I was. I didn't feel safe. Especially as a teen, that search became deeper and deeper because the feeling became more and more unsettling. It's like, okay, what's the truth? Where are the answers? One time I thought, okay, get out your legal pad. You're in debate. Find the answers, search out, research what the truth is. So I got out my yellow legal pad and I wrote my questions and made an appointment with my mom's minister and went to the church, entered this very luxurious dark green leather and rich brown wood. And it's like, okay, did I just enter an attorney's office or what? Yeah, it was a big church, but I was expecting something more humble, something more modest. Anyway, so I sat down in the big leather chair right in front of his massive wooden desk. And so I started asking my questions. I said, I've had this experience in my father's church and I'm seeing this in your church. So why the differences? You're using the same book. You both say you're Christians. So why the difference? Why do you celebrate Christmas? Why do you eat pork? He gave me some answers, but where he got his answers, I couldn't determine. Was it his own thoughts? Was it the church organization's thoughts? Or, something he learned in theology school? Whatever his answers were, they were insufficient because he didn't open up the book, the Bible, and say, here's the answer. It left me very unsettled. So I let him finish. I left the meeting rather disappointed. And so I stopped going to church and tried to fill my life with other things. Like I said, I was on sports teams and I was studying anyway, and I was interested in, art, drawing, and poetry and stuff like that, but it wasn't working. I was still feeling empty. I was still feeling lost. I was still feeling fear. So I thought, okay, I know there's a God. I know there were prophets. I know that he sent books, but I didn't know what that was. So I started praying, oh God, give me wisdom. I wanted guidance. I wanted to know what the truth was and how to apply it. So I thought, okay, I need to find somewhere to enrich my soul.